channel. It's me, Beauté Patra. If you have not yet, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more notifications. Sometime in life we do go through tough situation that kind of like draw us down, situation that kind of like lead us into confusion, situation that can lead us into severe stress, into depression, like sickness, jobless, failure, death of our loved one, and many more. So those are all normal reaction because we are all human beings made with flesh. It is okay, if we react that way, but it only become a problem when we choose to dwell in that situation, when we choose to dwell in that brokenness and refuse to come out of it, and refuse to fight as hard as we can to come out of it, and refuse to use encouraging tool to help ourselves come out of it. So the worst thing is like sometimes we even tend to accept that horrible condition as our own portion and kind of like lay back without the fight, without rejecting it, without counsel it. Always remember that in this kind of situation, right, the way we perceive it and the way we react towards it will really determine, the outcome of it. Either we're gonna come out of it victorious or not. So guys, it's really important. Life is like a jungle. Life is like a place where the jungle where we need to fight in order to survive. In this new decade, we need to be well equipped to fight so we can possess all her possession. When I say fight, it's not a physical fight. I mean fighting by having a positive mindset, first by rejecting that brokenness, by rejecting that evil sickness, that evil condition, whatever condition it is, by counseling and by started declaring blessing over it, by praying over it, by walking by faith, not by sight, by continue taking good care of yourself, by continue going to the gym, eating healthy, socializing, continue helping people around you. Let me share with you a childhood experience where my parents kind of like choose to walk by faith, not by sight. Even though the doctor said there was no more hope, they choose to remain positive. They choose to seek God's face and trusted in Him. They choose to believe and be patient in order to see the glory of God transforming the horrible situation. And at the age of 6, I become really sick. Prior to that, I started being sick at age 2. I was in and out the hospital until this time around when I become very sick at age 6. So my parents was hospitalized with me for a month at the hospital. So my mom was with me 24 hours and my dad will be coming every day after work. Sometimes he will sleep with me so my mom can go home and change and come back the next day. So my situation was becoming critical, until one day my body shut down. They did some CPR to stabilize me. I remained in a coma. The doctor called my mom and dad and told them that there was no more hope. Yeah, that they have to stop the treatment, that there's no way I will make it. They even told my dad to start making some funeral arrangement and have my coffin ready. Yeah, so my dad screamed as loud, as he never did, and he started declaring, "Doctor, my daughter will not die." I rejected. I cancel it. I declare that she will live. She will come out of it. She will walk out of this hospital and come home with us. So he continued saying while crying loud, "My God is a living God. He's gonna heal my daughter. She will not die." Let me tell you a little bit about my dad. He was a very Christian man. Always have the Bible with me. I remember when I was in the hospital, he always had the Bible at my bedside. He was reading the scripture all the time over me. Keep reading the scripture. So, but the doctor still insists that they have to back off from all the treatment. So I was sick to the point that my grandfather come from the village to see me to the hospital. As daddy was saying all this declaration, my grandfather was there too. So my daddy continued saying to the doctor, please doctor, don't back off, don't stop the treatment. If something happened to my daughter, I'm gonna hold you accountable. Please don't stop. So finally they agreed to wait for a few more days. So my father continued crying to God. He continued doing some all kind of prayer, some welfare prayer. My mom was so weak to even open her mouth and pray because of my condition. So daddy never stopped praying all day, all night. He even stopped going to work. He continued praying until the last day. He continued praying until the last day, until the day that the hospital was going to stop all the treatment. So that morning, I miraculously opened my eye and called my mom and my daddy. So my dad screamed and called all the doctor, all the staff, you know. They were all shocked. They still could not believe it. This is how I become strong to the point that the doctor discharged me home to my family. So after spending many months in the hospital, so until then the hospital asked my parents to bring me at time to time, so they can show me around, you know. When when daddy after that daddy took me back to the hospital 6 months after that. The hospital was so happy. They kind of like showed me around all the stuff, introduced me as a miracle child. Until today I remain that miracle child in that hospital. I made their record. So my dear friends, this was a very challenging situation for me and my entire family. As a child, I could not fight for my life. I thank God my parents, you know, thank God for my parents. If my dad did not stand firm on the ground and trusted in God, I could have been dead, you know. If you are facing similar situation or your loved ones, stand up, stand firm and start fighting like my father did. My father rejected and he declared that his daughter would not die but live. He didn't give up. Remember, there's power in the tongue, you know. Always talk positive, always walk by faith, not by sight, you know. Even though the doctors say no, that there's no more hope, still hope in God. Only him have the last say, you know. My mom and dad always call me their miracle child. I remember they always remind me this beautiful story, this miracle on my birthday. My dear friends, if you believe, trust me, you will see the glory of God. That is a promise of God to all of us. So believing means waiting for God's time, you know. My friend, we reached the end of today's video. I will see you next week for a new video. Again, if you have not yet, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell. Remember, always stay positive and take very good care of yourself. And you just listen to Bote Patra. Love you.